In this video, we will run through the processing, submission, and review of a 5K course. So we'll go to certifiedroadraces.com and we'll sign in as a measurer. Use the generic I'm a measurer for testing. That takes us to the main dashboard. There's nothing here, so I'm going to go over to the new courses in the nav bar. I'll select a new course that I've named Jan 26, Test 5K. The course has a predefined distance of 5 kilometers. I'll select the city and state. We select New York for courses that you want to submit through the review process. I'll click Save here. So now we have the course on the table of my road courses, which is right here. If I had a collaborator, I would put the collaborator's name and assign a role right there, but I don't have one. I'm going to calibrate the course or pre-calibrate. So I'll click the link here. I'll select a date, Jan 26th. I'm using a course that's not in the system, which is fine for testing. I'm going to select the number of digits on my counter as 5. Over here in my little cheat sheet, I've kind of prepackaged the data that I need for this to make it go faster. So let me just enter the data for the rides that we have here. So I finished this in 4 rides. If I needed an extra ride, I could add a ride and ignore one of the bad rides. Our average count is 3,000.75. The time of day, let's just say, is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Temperature is 55 degrees. So now we go down to the working constant. I can select the units in counts per kilometer or counts per mile. I'm going to select counts per mile. Then I'll check the box to attest for the calibration measurement. Oh, I didn't select the units, so Fahrenheit's units for temperature. That brings me back to the My Road Courses table, where I can review what I had previously put in, if I wanted to do that, or edit, or I can go on to the measurement. So let's go on to the layout measurement. And I'll select the date, again, Jan 26, say 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Keeping simple. Measuring start to finish on a 5-digit counter. Splits every mile, so I'll generate my measurement table. Over here, I have my measurements already set out. My start count is 85,000. So that, accounting for the rollover of the counter, gives me a total count of 34,274, or a total of 49,274 counts for the layout of the 5K course. So I'll save that. Again, that brings me back to the My Road Courses table. Shows me that the status is the next measurement. However, I can go back and review the 2 previous measurements that I've had, but I'll click the plus sign here for the validation ride. Again, I select the date, the time, let's just say 3 o'clock. Again, I'm measuring start to finish. I'll generate my measurements table. So I'll go over here to where I have the data already set out for me, and I'll just enter the splits and then the finish. So I can see that I've got a total number of counts of 49,292. That's pre-calculated for me. And my end count is 84,292. I'll go ahead and save that. Again, this brings me back to My Road Courses. I can view a preliminary of the measurements because I haven't post-calibrated yet. So I can see what my total measurements are, the total measured length preliminarily, a measurement comparison, and what my course length is against my desired length and what I would have to do to make an adjustment. So I'll return to my courses. I'll go on to the post-calibration. I'm going to start my post-calibration at 85 1,000 counts, and I'm just going to make this easy for purposes of the demonstration. Okay, let's say 5 o'clock. 55 degrees. Okay, so I can see that my finish constant is not the constant for the day, which means that my working constant was the larger of the two, and that will be used for calculating the distance of the course, the length of the course. So I'll save on that. Now I can proceed to the final measurement comparison. So here I have my two rides, then divided by the constant for the day, and then I've got the measured length for both of the rides. The percent agreement is pre-calculated for me. And again, here is the distance from the desired length, so it's only half an inch. So if I want a 5K course, all I have to do is add, I'll just cut and paste this. So add half an inch to finish, let's say. All right, let's continue. This takes me into the application form. So all of my data is already pre-entered. I'm going to select the race contact. I've got a test for that. I'll come down here to my course map. So I'll browse to where I have my course map, and I have one right here that I'm going to be using. I measured 12 inches from the curb. Unrestricted road availability. Yes, I measured the shortest diagonal path and turns. No turnaround points. S-curves or lines curves were shown. The route is not restricted. Type of course, let's call it the partial loop for this purpose. Distance between start and finish, I've got over here, I've got 89.33 feet. Elevation, I'm going to measure in feet. So I'll just enter this data, 890, 900, 925, and my lowest was 880, I believe. So you can see my drop and separation are calculated for me. That takes me down to surface type. It's 100% asphalt. It's all on the road. So I used a PK nail for the start and finish. Both rides were completed by the same person. Weather conditions were warm and sunny, let's say, and I used standard procedures. I'll again click on the attestation checkbox, and that saves the application form. And again, will bring me back to the main dashboard, but I want to go down to my road courses here. And again, here on the table, I can go back and review any of these. I can see that the status is that it's been submitted to the certifier for review and that it is pending review. If I want to look at any of the files in a PDF form, I can do that here. I can also look at the measurement comparison that I had not in PDF, but in the form. Let's take a quick look at that. All right. So now I will sign out of here, and I'm going to sign in as the certifier. So I'll sign in as I'm a certifier. User, password. Okay, so when the certifier opens his or her account, they will see that they have this course pending in their queue. The Jan 26 Test 5K submitted by I'm a Measurer. Here are the files in PDF or in the form view that I can view. I'll take a look at those in just a minute. I can see the view history, when it was submitted. I can approve or disapprove, or I can just scrub the whole thing if let's say the measurer called me and said, this course, just forget it. I did something really wrong. All right, so let's take a look as we're reviewing this. So I can click on here and I will get PDFs of the calibrations and the road measurements. So I have that. I can review that. I can download or print it from here. Let's see the certification application in a PDF form. I can also generate that. Takes just a second to load. So, and again, so I've got all of the data that I had entered in the form, and this is the same data that I can also view here, for instance. Okay, this is just the PDF version of it. All right, so everything looks good on this. I'm pretty satisfied as a certifier that this course is certifiable. So I'll click approve. This will generate the measurement certificate. So I have the measurement certificate completely filled out for me with the data that was on the forms, including the drop-in separation, the straight line distance, and all it needs is my signature. So if all of this is okay, then I can go ahead and sign. My signature, I'm a certifier, is added, and then I can approve the course. What that's going to do is upload the map and gives me a stamp, certification stamp with the appropriate serialized number on it. So it takes just a second for this to load. So now I can go down and I can review the map to make sure that everything is okay. This was available too on the earlier forms, but this puts it in, a nice view for me, large view that I can look at. So what I'll do here is everything looks okay on this. I'm going to go ahead and stamp and save. And the course is out of my queue. It has gone on to the next review level, which would be the vice chair. So we'll sign in as I'm a VC. And we can see the course is in the vice chair's queue. It's passed on by I'm a certifier. And I can see that the date and time that I'm a certifier reviewed it. I can also go ahead and click on all the files, including the certification packet. So there's the certification packet. This is an informal form yet. So it's, if I were to print this out, this would not be the official document. I go back to my dashboard. I can also check out, the calibrations, the measurements, any of this stuff that I want to see, and I can see it both in form view or I can see it in PDF view. Takes just a second to generate the PDFs. Get rid of some of these files while we're doing that. Okay, so I can review all of this. Go back to my table and view documents. Everything looks good. I'm going to go ahead and approve this. I'll sign out as a vice chair because the course has been moved on to the registrar's queue. I'll sign in as a registrar. Again, the process is the same. All the files are here, including the certification packet. Let's open that. So I can see the same thing that the certifier and the vice chair have seen. I can overwrite the number if I want. All right. Everything looks okay. So I'm going to approve. So when I approve the course now, because I'm the registrar, it will go into the database. So let's just click on the database. I'm going to look at our 2019 courses. I've got some in here. So let's just see what we've got. There's a few in here, but here is the Jan 26 5K with all of the data that we need on that. Here's the course packet itself. So let's click on that. And this is the final view that can be downloaded. Let's go ahead and download it. You can see that it's given the name of the certification stamp and then the name of the course, and I can save that. So I've got it right here. this is what will be emailed back to the measurer and anybody else who wants it, but it's always online here in the database. Okay. And that's all there is to it for this. So I will sign out as a certifier. I'm sorry, as a registrar. And that's it.